Welcome back to Primal, the grand conclusion. This is definitely the exact room where we left off. With the puzzle solved and Jen on this side of the platform. Would have taken me actual minutes of total busy work to do that, like, in gameplay, but fortunately I saved during my practice run immediately after getting Jen back. You don't need to see me do the exact same room in reverse. Sneak past this guy. I'm gonna stay in Fair Eye form because we need to do a lot more jumping puzzles. Hello, explosion. Now we just head to the staircase on the other side of the room. Look at how much progress we made in opening this one door. So incredibly satisfying. Really feel like I'm achieving something right now. Hey, nice fountain. That actually is useful. Load that up. For some reason, my Wraith energy is a little low. I think I was solving those slowdown puzzles to get past the firewalls and never recharged my energy afterwards. Oh, I need to be Jen because there's another rocket launcher up here. Jen will get distracted and try to fight him, unless I manually run past them. And into the cave. What is in the cave? So far, nothing. But there's a giant door. We could go press our faces up against it, nothing would happen. Instead, we head over here, we plant Jen on a big button. But of course it takes two big buttons to accomplish anything these days. And this other platform has a glowing lodestone on it, so clearly this is where we want to go. As Scree. But, as we also well know, these buttons release if they have the weight removed from them. So, take this. Plant it on the button. Then Scree can advance safely, and Jen is literal dead weight. Just holding down a button. Still, incredibly useful. Don't underestimate dead weight. Inside should be just a fountain that we can immediately light up. Don't have to fill it up or anything. Would that they could all be this easy. Hey, we're almost done opening this door. Except that the last button is the hardest. Or the last vomit head. Let's get solving it. Whole bunch of sounds of metal scraping, indicating something. Should have plenty of lodestones at this point. I think we're all set. Got a bowl that I can move around. But why? And where? Let's form an intention first before decide where to take that. We find ourselves on another huge high up shelf. Over platforms that we could jump to, but they're too far. Like, that is actually a gigantic distance, and Scree won't climb this wall either. What he will do is drop the rope. So, we need Jen to come over there. Hope she does. I got some kind of worrying pop-up on my computer. That's probably great news. Doesn't appear like anything has crashed and burned yet. But anyway, as far as the game is concerned, we need to put this on the button that Jen is currently on. Somehow. This is impossible. Because the button is elevated. It's off the ground. We cannot climb while holding a big bowl. So, what do? We have an impossible task set before us. Well, hold on. For no discernible reason, OBS just decided to stop streaming and wouldn't restart. So I had to kill the whole program. Start it back up, but the recording should be fine, so I think we're all set. And I now have streaming back up. So I think we're all good. We still need to get this cup over where Jen is over there. Which is still impossible. I've been having weird trouble with OBS lately. Don't know why. Never had a problem with it before. Here is the actually clever solution to solving this puzzle. Doors up. And we switch to Jen. Hop off the button. Door comes slamming down, but it can't close because there's a cup in the way. Just enough clearance for Jen to slide under. And Scree, shorty that he is, to comfortably walk right under. Good times. Had by all. Now, send a rope down. Send Jen down. We solve the puzzle. You would think. You would unfortunately be wrong. But we're close. We're closer than we were. Lodestones down here. And a very, very big statue. Of the sort that Scree typically possesses. So, Scree cannot climb down that wall. We're at a bit of an impasse. Instead, we will walk all the way around all of creation to turn this valve. Then on the other side of the room, that fills up the oil trays. How do the Jinn navigate this place? This is the most inconvenient temple in the history of the world. It takes so much cooperation to open any door in here. And these are not a people that cooperate particularly well, in that they hate each other and are constantly trying to kill each other. So I am honestly kind of baffled as to the layout of this entire place. It's like reverse environmental storytelling. They tell a story of a people who cooperate so fantastically that they can set up these impossibly elaborate locks. But then they show us people who legitimately cannot even speak to each other without attempting to kill one another. Ah well, fortunately, Scree and Jen cooperate very well together. And they're a team again. Now we just need way more lodestones. What are the odds? 7 seems excessive. It's not. There's an 8th one over there. That'll be enough for now. Let's possess this big statue and topple it. Much, much, much bigger than any statue we've had before. Gotta hit the timing just right. This is actually a bit of a rhythm game. Right when the base is flat on the floor, that is your opportunity to strike. Right there. Although my commentary is not timed up perfectly with the gameplay, so my there is not your there. Nonetheless, you get the basics of it. Maybe I should resync the commentary, since I have separate recordings of everything here. I did not need to bring Jen here at all. Fortunately, Scree always follows very close behind Jen. So no time actually wasted there. And Fair Eye Jen walks just as fast as normal Scree. This cutscene cannot handle 4 flames. I assume on actual PS2 hardware this would be no problem at all. We do not have that luxury. We are dealing with the inferior PS3 hardware. There we go. A big door has been opened.
Any idea what we should be doing next then?
We have to open that enormous door. It could lead us to Iblis's lair.
Sounds like a good idea, Scree. Can't wait to fulfill that plan. Let's head back. We earned it this time. We actually get to advance beyond this one big room. Hopefully we have enough lodestones. I'm pretty sure we do. Because Iblis is waiting right beyond this door. I mean, it's the fanciest door in the whole game by a wide margin, obviously. Very important stuff lies just beyond. It better. That's an enemy that I don't want to fight. I'm going to take Jen. Try and get her to sneak past without getting mad at this guy. Don't recall hearing this particular music track or the fight music. This is not Iblis's room.
This must be the Jinn Hall of Gods.
That would be a good guess. These statues are huge.
Luckily, there is no limit on the size of statues that Scree can possess. But that statue there is tied down. Specifically, keep Scree from knocking it over. Scree has a bit of a reputation, I guess. This room is gigantic. We have much to do here. Even set up teleportation gates so that we can pull Scree back if we don't solve our problems in the correct way. So, very important step 0. Throw a rope down right here. We have no idea why we would do this yet, but we want Jen in a specific spot. But there we go. That was the big setup step. After this, Scree can do 90% of the work. And he will. It'll be slow. It's always going to be slow. This is another very slow, long, giant puzzle room. You solve the one with the 4 flaming statues in front of the door. Then there's immediately another one of comparable size and scope and tedium. Again, I promise. Big payoff coming. Not gonna oversell it. But there's stuff on the other side. Light at the end of the tunnel. That is 5 lodestones. Fortunately, the Mega Giant statue does not require additional lodestones to possess. Small mercy. But as a added step of busy work, we do got to remove all these ropes. You gotta burn them. Meaning Scree has to be brought to every single one of these rope locations. Seems like Jen could use her claws to cut them or something. Not the case. And I just gotta climb all around the entire level for a long time. So, I talked about the interview with Andreas Katsoulis and Hudson Lake. That will be linked in the video description. Now, this is the end of the LP. It is the perfect time, after watching this video, to go watch that video. Learn a bit more about the inside process of what went into the top-tier acting throughout this game. Because that really is the selling point of the entire game. The acting. Most of the writing is good, but it's all been brought to life by the acting. The places where it falls flat was elevated by the acting. And the gameplay. If the gameplay was all this game had, this would be a very bad game. Fortunately, it's got a lot more. Like empty chests. Hooray! Not entirely empty. I missed so many tarot cards. I don't know what the point of getting that one was, but I did it. Achievement unlocked. There are also interviews on this game disc, because they were very proud of this game. Really wanted you to know how much work went into it. So they added an interview with the 16 Volt, the band that did all the metal music in the game. And honestly, it's skippable. Like, I like their music. I think they did a good job with the game. But they don't have a ton to say about it. Because they really did... Apparently 3 of the songs in this game were intended to be originals that are exclusive to the game. But they didn't end up actually being exclusive to the game. They put them on future albums with vocals and stuff. So ultimately, they're just talking about songs that they made as musicians that happen to be in a video game, irrelevantly. And they don't even have very much to say about the songs, so listen to 16 Volt, they're a cool band. If you've enjoyed the music of this game, you actually might enjoy their real music more, because it's too high for you to jump. Not over here. Don't get tricked. Take another couple of steps to the side, then you're fine. But, yeah, I think I still need Scree here. Just in case, let's keep Scree here. And start doing stuff with Jen. So we don't know where Jen needs to go, but it's not where she is. The thing about 16 Volt is, where they really shine is taking the abrasive guitar sounds of industrial metal and adding, like, very compelling harmonies and stuff And you don't hear that in the game because they removed all the vocals from the 16-volt music. So you really don't get to experience what they're all about simply by hearing their music in the game. Over here again. Gonna throw a rope down so that Jen can get back up to the central platform. But yeah, actually listen to 16-volt. Utterly different experience compared to what we've seen here. The game actually really sells them short, unfortunately. But they did release a special promotional bonus version with remixes of all the songs in the game as a tie-in. Apparently, at least in the PAL territories, there was a steelbook release of this game with the soundtrack of 16-volt music, with all of its original lyrics and stuff. So, that is a good way to experience this game. But a small few also got to win a signed copy by the band of the bonus disc, with remixes by Orgy and Crazy Town and Filter. Very high pedigree there. This is why we wanted Jen. And if we didn't bring Jen back to that first platform, we would have had to use the teleport block thing or that we can pull Scree through, one of these, and get him to bring the rope down. And then do the entire room again. If not for my foreknowledge. Also that we could get Jen up here, so that we could then teleport Scree up here, so that we could burn this rope once and for all. Once and for all, thank you.
I think that's it.
That is it, I assure you. But Scree cannot get down from this platform. So we do the rest of this in reverse. But only the Jen part. Once Jen is back on the main platform, we're all set. Again, horrifying. Sidling around the convex part of a big cylinder over lava. Jen has ice water in her veins. Doesn't care for any of that. Not a second thought about the severe threat to her life that she undertakes effortlessly. Jen's a cool protagonist, quite honestly. One of the most likable things about this game is that she's, like, legitimately a strong, cool protagonist. And the whole traveling to the underworld to save a loved one is very much a male story that they gave to Jen. Also the, like, special chosen one story. That's typically a dude. Oh, I missed my input there. So now I need to do a replacement cycle. And another one, because that reduced my momentum just enough. And it now takes 2. But yeah, I like Jen a lot as a protagonist. We don't want to possess the statue again. Instead, we want to use the rope. There are only a few spots around the perimeter of the elevated platform from which Scree will willingly use the rope, which is kind of irritating. Now I want to be the deadly fire sword monster. We are done jumping around. I also want to be Scree, because if I don't transform into Scree, he will just stay as rope holding statue for the rest of his life. Will not do anything further willingly. There was one more behind the scenes featurette on the game disc, unlocked by completing a previous level. And it was a making of. Like from a game development perspective. Which is also linked in the video description. In case you want to watch that. I don't think I need to actually fight these, and fighting them around the explosions is definitely a bad idea. The guy up there I definitely need to fight, though, because he's in front of a door. That is a double door that I need to push down. I love that he has been just watching me vandalize his Temple of the Gods for the last, like, 10 minutes. Couldn't do anything about it. He's gonna fail to do anything about it now that he actually has the opportunity. There. Impaled. He's dazed. And apparently that series of animations counted as an execution.
Help me out, would you?
Teamwork. Sometimes Jen will not actually help him out, even after being requested to do so. This time, she was feeling generous. Let me, top off my health. Couldn't hurt. Don't want to waste any of my one-up crystals. Never know when you're gonna need them. Scree, really need you by my side right now. They'll catch up soon enough. They have a set duration before they explode, so we can walk by safely. A lot of combat in here. But all we need to do is light those torches. So that's a canned animation. All I really want to do is keep Jen from getting into too much combat while I light the torches. Take her away from fighting. It's probably supposed to be required combat, but I ain't doing it. Can't make me. They did a bad job of locking me in that room to try and make me.
No.
Yes. Top off my health again. Scree had almost full energy somehow. There is a recharge crystal in that room, but I didn't go near it. Crack open another door. And we are asked to save. Let's save. Right about here, I guess. Doesn't matter, just as long as it's a spot that I will remember. Because clearly we're going on to a boss fight. We have spent far too long in Volca, and the game agrees and is finally letting us out.
You gonna share the joke, Your Majesty? Maybe we can all split our loincloths at the same time. You know, you really should get out more.
I hoped you would be so audacious, but the sight of you actually daring to enter the Hall of Gods is truly ridiculous.
Okay, get ready for the punchline. And try not to wet yourself. Keep a little dignity. I'm here to kill you.
I could sweat the pair of you into this pit of fire with one trifling exertion. But why should a glorious king lift his finger at all? How dare you pursue me to this chamber?
The bigger they come, the harder they fall. Don't you have that phrase around here?
Our boss is a gigantic mega statue. What are we even supposed to do about it? Our only action right now is to duck and hide. That will cause this guy to break some of his own things. Sometimes he'll still hit you.
Got to extinguish the lights, Jen. The statue will be weakened.
Now we know what we're supposed to do. But we do actually have to destroy everything, including these. I think, yeah, just beginning the animation is enough to knock those down. The statue is pretty bad at finding where I am, so as to defend itself. Scree is distracting it pretty well, and it is accidentally putting Scree onto another platform with more lights that we can use to weaken it. Oh, fight music's over, so I guess all the excitement is over too. I'll just casually kick baubles off the edge for a while. How do you like that, big guy? Probably not too much. I have no camera control right now, so I just gotta hope I can see what's going on. That explosion you can dodge if you duck behind one of the big platforms. Or I think if you just duck at all. That was the last destructible thing, so luckily he built a bridge for us in that exact moment. Now he's doing a very suggestive gesture so as to produce monsters for us to fight. But he's not all that dangerous, all things considered. Yep, we got another bauble. Scree's up above. He's pushing him onto the platform we're on. And then we gotta push him again. There. I did my duck dodge. But we know the gist of this. I think that's second to last bauble. And we just get him to break this torch and we should be all good. Instead he's gonna splatter me. And get in one last hit.
Not much of a grip you got there, friend. I think you're about to fall.
Pull me out of here. Please.
My head says no. My heart says no too. Bad luck.
No! Melican, my queen. Are you going to allow this pair of treacherous outsiders to murder your husband?
Yes.
Okay, wait up a moment. I'm not under anyone's spell anymore. Why does he have to take this tumble at all? I mean, we got what we need. Can't we just take the heart and race straight back to Cronus?
Such compassion is rare indeed here in Volca. And you know, it is quite contagious. But not that contagious. Iblis reigned through tyranny and corruption. He deserves no pity. Now, give me the heart.
What do you mean?
It is quite simple. Give me the heart.
What? Why should I?
Do you see any way out of this chamber? I will show you the way. And you will leave with the means to revive Kronos.
Scree? Yeah, well, don't drop it like you dropped your husband, huh? Jeez, will you get Madam Butterfingers here?
An immortal queen in Vulca at last. With this heart, I shall keep the most treacherous djinn in some sort of order. Arella would appreciate that.
Your Majesty.
That is all you require, believe me. And this is your way out of the Hall of Gods.
Hey, we didn't even really get betrayed. Just slightly betrayed. Boss didn't quite kill me. Some of the other bosses have technically killed me, in that they made me use one of the 1-up crystals. Not this one. Not bad for the last boss of the last area of the game. Arguably the last boss of the game. If you wanted to lose an argument. Let's just get some more energy. Never know how much you're gonna need. Yeah, I mean, this is another world where we actually had a plan this time. In Etha, we didn't do anything. Our presence accomplished nothing. We had no goal the entire time. Etha was pointless. I still like that level a lot. But at the end of the day, there was no reason to go there. Even though Arella said we did a good job afterwards. This area, we actually got a physical object that will help us. And arguably we made Order better. Somehow.
Like she could be trusted. A way out of here, my ass.
At the foot of that precipice, there is a rift gate.
How do you know? You been here before? Scree, we gotta go down, not up.
There is something I must do if we are to have a chance of surviving that descent.
Scree!
I must, Jen! This may be the last you see of me.
Scree, if it's that dangerous, don't go! What are you doing? Scree! 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 Scree!
Well, here goes.
Guess who needs bailing out again? Oh my god, Scree! Scree! What did you have to smile about? Great lunk. I won't leave you lopsided, Rocky boy. I know. You'd hate me wasting time blubbering here. We're on a mission, right? Goodbye, Scree.
I suppose he meant a great deal to you.
More than you could possibly know. So now you want to kill me too, huh? Well, that's just fine, Spiky, because I'm ready to...
That's no way to greet an old friend. One minute you're crying like a baby because you think I've had a fall. Next...
Scree!
Of course it's me. And I would prefer Abdazur if you're capable of such a momentous adjustment.
Okay, don't push it. Because those tears weren't just for you. I mean, it has been an emotional couple of days. You remember that. Ha! General Abdazur. Wow.
Hold on tight to the Jinn heart. It's a long way down, Jen.
Scree finally looks awesome all the time now. This is actually like a really, really good character design. And they waited this long to give it to us, but finally, we are Abdizur. Awesome. And it was really well foreshadowed. When we first talked to the Queen, she said underneath Volca is buried the corpse of Abdizur. And then, much later, just in that previous cutscene, Scree said, oh, there's a rift gate down there. And Jin said, how do you know that? You've been here before? He had. Because that's where Abdizur's corpse is, and he is Abdizur. So now, Scree is badass. Let's go F some MFers up. I mean, our walking cycle is still goofy. And I can't turn to stone anymore. I'm not a gargoyle. Turning to stone never solved anything throughout the whole game. It was still fun to do. I guess let's resurrect Kronos and win the game, because clearly they gave us Super Giant Lion Man Scree. Just for the good looks. A cheerleader on our team. And a save point, just for the good looks. No other reason we would need a save point right now. We don't need lodestones anymore. Thank God for that, at least.
Some welcoming committee. Guess the mayor was busy.
This is it, Jen. Now, stand completely still until I step forward, and then you must run. Get to Kronos and push in that heart. Run, and don't look back.
The running I can do, the standing still, isn't quite so easy.
Ready now? Belazur!
My pride, you disappoint me. You think you can hide a broken heart? Life is behind you, yet you stare ahead.
Lewis. I need that thing, Lewis.
Lewis is dead.
Belazor's chicken foot was visible throughout that whole cutscene. And now, the Lewis boss fight. We need to kill our boyfriend that we came here to save. That sort of makes Jen even more badass. Especially the fact that we're going to do so. We are supposed to use Fair Eye form here against Fair Eye Lewis. But instead, I want to use the Mega Sword. I believe... yeah, that combo would be the fastest if Abaddon didn't teleport his Acolyte away. And now for some reason he can fire energy bolts at me. Yeah, the second step of the heavy two-hand combo is that big thrust, which is very, very effective. Lewis can't block it very well. On to phase 2. This time I cannot turn into my Volca form. No Djinns allowed underwater. Lewis can still be a Djinn. His monster forms are way cooler than mine, quite frankly. But what are you gonna do? You're gonna whip him with electric lasers, is what? Get moving, Jen. That was unfortunate. But this is what our 1-up crystals have been for. The final boss. Jen was not properly locked on for a lot of that, causing me to miss a lot of opportunities for damage and take a lot of damage myself. There's a 1-up crystal. The fact that I didn't use one in the first phase is a good sign, at least. Second phase is over, and we still have 4 left over. Or is the second phase over? Apparently not. Apparently he will go into this thing again. If you let him. Second phase is almost over. And I'm certain we won't be a fish again at any point during this fight. No matter what happens. No more fish allowed. Okay, he conceded. He cannot outswim an Undyne. Now they want me to be a Wraith. Absolutely no thank you. It does seem heavily implied that it was Lewis and Belazor going from realm to realm, working on behalf of Abaddon to screw things up before Jen arrived. And then Jen and Scree would go in there and try and fix things. And surprisingly succeed in every instance. This I cannot attack. I gotta run around for a while until he decides to stop teleporting. But he will teleport right through you. And he's done. Now he wants to fight again. Let's build a sword. With so much damage in the process. Still fine. Doing so much damage per successful hit. And we'll probably almost skip the teleport phase. I'm surprised by how accurate he's being. Normally you can just run around in circles and he won't hit you during the teleport phase. But he doesn't have much more in him. He's at about 25% HP. He got another crystal off of me. So close, too. On to the final phase? No, character switch. Obviously, we gotta put Abdazor through his paces. By attacking Belazor. Abdazor is a beast. Just wreck that guy. But still has the fireballs. Unimpressive though they may be. Okay, he's not doing the fireballs again. What he's doing requires me to pick up this mirror. Because he is in the center of the room, manipulating the laser that comes from the Nexus. So I need to return fire. And unfortunately, that seems to have healed him up. Here comes fireballs. Fast fireballs, but he doesn't lead his shots, so it doesn't matter. Is he back in the center? I cannot even tell. Yeah, he was back in there. Cheating. We have to stay in this light beam, or else it will not properly reflect. Back to Belazor. Damn it. Well, he won't go all the way around the room, at least. Swing it back around. I guess I gotta break 4 of these crystals. And each time, he heals up a little bit. We're teaching this frog a lesson. That should have done it, I think. Yeah. Just wait for him to find me. I don't think Abdazor is healing between any of these phases. Which, yeah, that's a bit of a problem because we do not have very high HP. And Belazor does do a lot of damage per attack. But we just want to be over by the light, just in case. Okay, he went up to his perch. This should break the light source once and for all. Belazor has been dunked. Jen still has a lot of trouble on her hands. Well, 25% of an HP bar worth of trouble. His attacks are faster than mine. I'm going for the heavy attacks, and maybe I shouldn't be. There we go, that's the good one. I don't know what his gimmick's gonna be here. Oh, he made a fire circle. For some reason. Again, there's no one there. So this is actually like a really good, satisfying boss fight. If you have enough energy crystals to get through it. I have plenty. I hope I have plenty. But it is favoring Lewis right now. He has a home field advantage because it's playing his band's music. As he is a canonical member of 16 Volt in the game. But he's almost dead. His fire phase hasn't done anything so far, and I hope it continues to do nothing. It causes a ridiculous amount of slowdown. Look at all these particles. PS3 was not built to handle this many particles. Belazor's death was a bit disappointing. Hopefully Lewis's death makes up for it. Lewis, with his slowdown powers, the ultimate final boss. He's dead.
Jen.
Lewis.
We pay the landlord some of what we owe the sleazeball leech. But then we carry on the party.
Yes.
That's okay?
Said so, didn't I?
No arguments? No? Are you feeling okay?
I'm just fine. You're back.
Jen, watch my back. Man, tonight there was some weird...
Louis? Louis!
Jen! Jen! Hurry, Jen! You must take the heart to Kronos. It may be too late.
Forget your old boyfriend. I'm way hotter than he is.
Fight is at an end. You may not pass.
He was Louis again.
He's gone now, Jen. There's just a chance. Nobody knows where the Well of Nexus leads, not even Kronos.
But it is said to lead on a path towards life.
There is no other hope. But do I have your blessing?
You got it. Me and that boy are planning on a party.
Now, Jennifer, it is time for you to return to Mortalis.
My Lady Arella is right. Any longer away and it would be harmful to you.
But what about Abaddon?
Indeed. We will have to remain on our guard. But the balance between chaos and order will be somewhat easier to maintain, now that my Captain-at-Arms is restored. Thank you, Jennifer. We are all in your debt.
Abtazor? Scree?
Goodbye, Jen.
I will never forget you.
Do you think you might endeavor never to forget me only in my current form?
Not a chance, Rocky. Not a chance.
Credits. And music that will almost certainly get copyright claimed on YouTube. Ah, well. Such has been the case with almost this entire playthrough. But we deal with it. It's fine. With the less than 100 reviews I'm getting per video, it doesn't really matter. That really wasn't a setup for a sequel. I mean, it seems like they could have made a sequel, but it doesn't seem like they wanted to. Jen's back to life. Last thing she wants is to go see Scree and Oblivion again. 'Cause that would mean she'd be dead. Let's take a brief moment to listen to what 16 volt actually sounds like. Gotta say, this is the worst 16-volt song I've ever heard. They do not normally sound like Smashing Pumpkins with, like, distorted guitars. Not the best showing for them. But still a pretty solid band. You get an idea of what they're about at least. So, yeah. You see a lot of games that really fumble the ending. Almost every game I've ever played through on my YouTube channel. Horrible ending. No matter how good the story is, the ending always turns out bad. I thought the ending of this game was extremely satisfying. Some of the strongest gameplay in the whole game. A lot of fun on the final bosses there. And a pretty solid conclusion. Everything they set up paid off. Characters ended up being pretty decent. We don't know whether or not Lewis died, but we can assume that there's at least a small chance he didn't. So the implication is that he didn't. So that's perfectly fine. And I don't recognize any of the names in the credits. I've seen things that some of them are in, because they're all in like 100 different things. Movies, TV shows, all that. And they generally have pretty small roles, but they've been working actors for super long times. Pretty much all of them. Overall, I really like the game. I hated how often it would waste your time, where you would prove that you know what you're doing, and it would still make you do it multiple times, back to back. That was always frustrating. Never a fan of that. But overall, I liked the puzzles, and as much as they were puzzles at all, typically they just involved you looking at a specific spot in the environment and determining what you needed to do with that spot. Then you can move on to the next room and repeat the process for many, many hours. Super long game that did not need to be as long as it is. They could have cut numerous hours out, and the game would have been better for it. Nonetheless, still, if you're looking at the big picture, I thought it was really good. And like the acting, legitimately top tier. I've rarely seen acting this good in any video game ever. I wish they'd gone weirder. I wish they'd had more personality. But I still feel this was very worthwhile to play through. I've been looking forward to doing this playthrough explicitly for like 8 years, and just, it's been in the back of my head for nearly 20 since the game came out in 2003. I've never forgotten about it. So this is a big culmination of many, many years of thought for me. And it managed not to be a letdown. All that build-up. There was still a worthy payoff to it all. I am not disappointed, and that is virtually impossible for this game to have pulled off. And they pulled it off. Getting a comparison to The Last of Us in chat, which I assume is apt. Never played The Last of Us, but I do know they like their buddy cop to main characters, which is a good setup for a game, and not enough games do it. The other big one that was frequently compared to this game was Darkened Sky. That's not a big one. That's a big one for my channel. So if you like this, watch Darkened Sky. You're gonna love it. But if you're listening to me now, you probably liked this, because you just sat through like a dozen hours of this game. Ratchet and Clank exists. They don't seem to be particularly charismatic. I never played Ratchet and Clank. I never played Jak and Daxter. But maybe they're also very charismatic. Darkened Sky was much sillier than this game, but it seemed like the characters had more consistent personalities throughout the entirety of Primal. I don't know, that's for you, the viewer, to explore and decide on your own. They're different enough that they're worthy of comparison, I think. So you owe it to yourself to also check out Darkened Sky. I saved the Nexus, and all I got was this lousy t-shirt. Coming soon! Ghost Hunter. It actually was coming soon. This was released later that same year by the same development studio. Let's see what it's all about. I might be interested in playing it. That was not enough information to decide whether or not I want to play it. But it was all they're going to give me, unfortunately. So, when we completed Volca, we unlocked the trailer for this game. And that is it. So, really, it's just these 3 featurettes that are worth watching. And I do recommend you watch them. Coming soon, I'm pretty sure, is just Ghost Hunter. Oh no, we have more ads for other PS2 games. What do you got for me? War of the Monsters! I love that game! Look at these monsters. And their war. Also, watch my videos about War of the Monsters if you want. Because I've done those. Anyway, video games. You know where to find more. My channel. And another thing I promised I'd do. Let me see if I can figure this out. Alright. We need to put in a cheat code to see the rest. Or magic code. They're canonical cheats. Don't worry about that. We need to see the rest of the tarot cards. How do I manipulate these? That ain't it. Gallery is what I want to input. Don't hit triangle. I can scroll through the letters all I want. This is a bit of a puzzle in and of itself. How do you cheat this video game? Weird. So you hold all 4 triggers, and that brings up this screen after a short period of time. This is one-hit kills throughout the whole game. That would be a nice one. This is how to watch the cutscenes that you unlock. Invulnerable, that's a little self-explanatory. And this is how you unlock all the cutscenes in the game. You have to do it level by level. I like that idea. Hold X Oh, I did something. There it is. We figured it out. You do hold X, and that does allow you to change the letters, but you have to press forward or backward. If you press up and down, it still changes what you have selected. So, the cheat codes are different between versions. We were on the US version. On the PAL version, the code is Arcanum, to do what I'm doing right now. On this version, it should be a word that doesn't exist, so don't try to guess what I'm putting in here. I wonder if that worked. No, unsurprisingly. But the code is RuneScore. A score of runes. Or a core of runes or something. Maybe it's the new variant of punk. RuneScore. Which I would not want to listen to, given the modern implications of what runes are frequently used for. If you don't know, you're better off. So don't worry about it. Now let's see if I can figure out how to actually confirm. I'm afraid, Fang Spectre in chat, you are definitely late because the video game is over. There we go. That looks about right. Look at that. Fair Eye Aspect. It's X to move to the next card. Keep that in mind, me. Ace of Cups is the Undyne Aspect. We actually saw this drawing in the manual, but not this one. This one was in the manual. This one's unique. And this one I found in the chest behind the rope where the big statue was. There's Jen the Fool. Arella the Empress. Arella never ended up betraying us, unfortunately. And we never really saw Abaddon, nor Arella. So this is the clearest look we get at any of them. The Lovers, fair enough. Lewis was the Hierophant, surprisingly. There's good old Raum, who is not very good, but definitely very old. And Hearn, the one good king in the game, I think. He was well-intentioned. I know, like, very boring character design. I'd rather hang out with Adaro. He's got a crab claw. And Pusa. Malakel. Also, Ampusa always called Raum Rauma. Added a extra vowel to the end of his name. For whatever reason. Scree is strength. You'd think Abdazur would be strength. If either of them. Here's where we learn what the Watcher's name was. It was the Watcher. All along. Abdazur is the star, which is not one of the typical tarot major arcana. But here it is. The tower is the nexus. I don't think they know what the tower means symbolically. But I guess it's part of the balance of chaos and order. Goliath. Oh, Goliath is the big statue that fought us at the end of Volca. The star is like an alternate name for one of the arcana, I believe. Jared looks incredibly human in this picture. He did not look this human in the game, but he might be a hybrid too, for all I know. So there we go, that's actually the end of them. Quite a few. Not sure about the assignment of each to their symbolic arcana, but good enough. It was fun to see them. And that, finally, is Primal. Thank you very much for watching, and I do hope to see you in some other playthrough, some other time, because I enjoy doing these. Again, thanks so much for joining me throughout the entirety of this playthrough, and have a good one.